Hello, this is a Schimmel upright piano, 113 centimeters tall, made in 1985, and it's just come back into stock. The client sold it back to us. It was sold originally in 2019, but we weren't using the piano, unfortunately, so it's come back in, and we're really happy to get our own pianos back, obviously, because we've already perfected them, and we'll just look to see if we can perfect it a bit more. I think that's actually dirt on the bottom there, but we've had a look at the case, and it's in very good condition generally, but we'll always tidy up anything that needs doing, or repolish if it's that bad, but this one certainly isn't very bad at all. Let's have a look at the top here. It's very stylish, very beautiful design. Something I want to draw attention to is that West German pianos very often have much more legroom than British pianos or Japanese pianos. In this case it has 63.5 centimeters. Normal, say Yamaha U1 is 61.5 usually, and Japanese pianos generally 61.5, 62, and they vary slightly, but generally the German pianos are taller, and the pedal height really is 4 centimeters, so they're again very small, very low down, sorry. So if you're a tall person, then it's very much worth thinking about. It's much more comfortable sitting under a piano when there's more legroom. And these pedals here, this is the next, also a West German piano, Feurich, and we've done a video of this one before, but this has 67 legroom, which is extraordinarily high, and the pedals here are about 5 centimeters, so slightly higher, or 6, sorry, I think. And there's also a Feurich next to it here. This is a new Feurich, one that we do like, as you will have seen before if you've watched other videos, and we sell quite a lot of new Feurichs, but this has slightly more legroom than a Yamaha U1 or U3. So the legroom here is 63 centimeters, but the pedal's 7 centimeters. That's typical for a new piano. It's higher than the pedals on the other, so yeah, the legroom is much better. It's much more comfortable. Sorry, I meant it's more comfortable on the tall German pianos. This is the Feurich then, and you can see this is Matthias' colleague, a really excellent piano tuner, and he, as you see, that's just about okay, but as he put his foot on the pedal, we'll see that there's a bit of a squash, and you tend to splay your legs outwards. This is very common on new pianos, so it's something that we'd like to draw attention to. So this is Matthias with his foot on the pedal here, and push the pedal up and down so we can see how that, so it's quite, that's great. So it's quite enough room, and just about enough room. So 6'2" Matthias is, and this is the Feurich, and you can see there's plenty of legroom, so really tall people would be very comfortable under this piano. So it is an issue, and obviously looking at the Schimmel, there's plenty else to talk about, but particularly want to feature this because it's so important, I think, to realise that the legroom is much greater on these high quality German pianos. Also, a lot of older pianos have more legroom too. This Schimmel was made in the 1980s when there was a bit of a fashion for lifting up, for the lids on upright pianos to lift up a bit like a grand piano would. If you want to tune the piano, you have to pull the piano off the hinge. It's quite easy to do actually. You just pull the piano in this the lid in this direction, and you'll then be able to take the lid off and tune the piano. So everything on this Schimmel piano is extremely high quality. It's the best you can get. Renner action, which we've featured so often. Renner actions are superb German action in most top quality pianos these days. And you can see the piano's hardly been used. Let's have a look at the hammers and see the wear on them. And really, I have voiced the hammers actually. They're slightly bright, I felt, and the hammers have been played in, so it's a good opportunity to voice them. But I don't know if you can see that there's really very little wear on this at all, so that's like having a new piano, slightly worn in, which is useful. And this is a Celeste, obviously that goes up and down. If you're not familiar with a Celeste, then that's the middle pedal. So operating the middle pedal, if you want to practice, push it down. It holds itself down if you push it sideways slightly, and then you can practice scales or pieces and be less noisy. One of the marks of a top quality piano is the break points. So this break point here, we can hear the tone. No difference in tone at all. Beautiful singing tone. As we get down to this break point, again find very little difference. So a good manufacturer can manage to have the same tone whichever part of the soundboard the strings go to. So just taking the bottom panel off so we can see where the strings go. So that's the right hand side of the breakpoint, that's the left hand side. So the bottom tenor, say first bass, or that's tenor really as well. So first of all, the last of the steel strings, that's this note. And if we stop the string, you'll see that it's that string. And we brought out one of the harmonics. Just for fun, we're going to go up and down the harmonics here. And you can see stopping at different points. And of course, all those harmonics come out when you play the notes. That's why it's such a rich tone. And now the first of the bass ones. That's the last string there. And if we touch that one, again bringing out some of the harmonics. So we can hear the tone of this one is very similar to the tone of that one. So being able to match the tone, because that's hitting a different part of the soundboard, different type of string, and this part of the soundboard, it requires a lot of skill and really high quality manufacturing. So let's compare those three pianos. First of all, the break points. That's the break point on the Schimmel. The break point on the old Feurichs, the German Feurich, is higher up. And the Feurich has the same break point as the Schimmel. But you notice there's copper both sides. So in a way there's another break here where you've got the steel string followed by the copper wound. And that's a very good break. Obviously we're trying to choose pianos that have very good break points. So this Schimmel piano was sold by us previously in 2019. Unfortunately the client wasn't really using it, perhaps they were just too busy, and or maybe during the COVID pandemic they were using it and then didn't use it anymore. So we brought it back in, really pleased to buy our own pianos back in, because obviously we know them already, you don't have to be searching for them. And really there's nothing to do here at all, it all just says good, more or less. Voicing, pitch raising and tuning, voicing done, so that's all been done. Obviously we could try and fine voice even more, but really pleased with the tone of the piano. That we have also the key weighting is almost perfect, so around about 50 to 55 grams, 54 grams, and it just feels beautiful to play. So that's the kind of weighting we'd like to see, and wonderful for study as well. So there's a Schimmel upright piano, 113 centimeters tall, and sort of piano we're always trying to source. You can see that I've got plenty of legroom here. I'm about 5'10½", so if you are a tall person, it's really useful to have more legroom. You can obviously splay your legs out if the piano is very low, and you get used to that, but it's much nicer if you can just put your legs down under here. And the pedals being very low, it's 4 centimeters from the floor. 3 centimeters is about the lowest you can go. Bechstein Grands, for instance, nearly always 3 centimeters, and really that makes it very comfortable to play. The pedals are really high up, it's very uncomfortable. And this doesn't have casters on it. You don't really need casters on an upright piano. What you can have is sliders or gliders underneath them very often. That obviously lifts it up slightly as well, gives you a bit more legroom, but it's fine like this because you really don't move the piano around, and you can move it. If it's on a carpet you can still move it. The caster casters just dig in, and you need caster cups. So that's something you might like to think about. But the piano has a beautiful tone. If you're interested, please do write to us, info@robertspianos.com. Thank you very much for listening.